It was a busy morning at Rockford City Council chambers as leaders came together to speak about an important new piece of state legislation.
Reporter Emily McMinn was there to learn about the Family Justice Center's Act and how it expands upon a Rockford initiative.
House Bill 4949, known as the Family Justice Centers Act, allows other Illinois communities to create their own family peace centers, expanding domestic violence resources outside of just Rockford. The only family peace center in the state sits in Rockford, started in 2020 with the guidance of domestic violence survivors.
This legislation will provide a model for other communities across the state to encourage coordination and partnerships that will allow survivors to get the best help possible.
The goal was to bring all types of domestic violence resources under one roof in a way survivors would feel heard and respected.
The state of Illinois caught up to Rockford, and so the Family Justice Center Act, House Bill 4949, which I carry, takes what we pioneered right here in Rockford and makes it the law of the land.
Retired Judge Rosemary Collins spent her career advocating for domestic violence survivors.
It's a great day for the survivors throughout the state of Illinois. It's a great day for the city of Rockford, and it's really an important recognition for the hard work.
Leaders highlighted her impact as the law was announced, but she believes the spotlight belongs on the work still to come.
The impact is incredible. We've had thousands of people come to the Family Peace Center here to imagine that this could be available throughout the state.
Although the law's goal is to help survivors, the need continues to go beyond just those facing that scenario.
The more we can do for violence prevention, the better off we are. And I do believe this helps with violence prevention. It does help break the chain of violence in our community. And that makes all of us safer.
The bill passed unanimously back in May and was signed into law earlier this month.
Thanks, Emily. And family peace centers around the state could bring services for domestic violence, rape, crisis, civil legal, and other providers all under one roof.